Imagine waking up one morning, driving to McDonald's, and ordering the cheapest breakfast on the menu, even though you're worth more than $100 billion. Sounds insane, right? But that's exactly what Warren Buffett does. This is a story of a boy from Omaha who turned a childhood hustle into one of the greatest fortunes in history, not by chasing trends, not by getting lucky, but by rewriting how the world thinks about money. Warren Buffett was born in 1930 during the Great Depression, a time when families counted every penny just to survive. At age 6, he bought a six-pack of Coca-Cola for 25 cents and sold each bottle for a nickel, making a 5-cent profit. By the time most kids were still figuring out multiplication tables, Buffett was running multiple-minute businesses, selling gum, delivering newspapers, and even operating a pinball machine business with a friend. But his real obsession? Numbers. Warren spent hours reading financial tables, memorizing stock prices, and dreaming of owning pieces of great companies. When he was just 11 years old, he bought his first stock, 3 shares of City Service Preferred for $38 each. When the stock dropped to $27, young Warren panicked but held on. Eventually, it climbed back to $40, and he sold for a small profit. Then the stock skyrocketed to $200. That painful moment changed him forever. He realized impatience was expensive, and that money grows for those who wait. It was the first seed of his philosophy: be patient, buy quality, and let time do the work. Years later, Buffett found his mentor, Benjamin Graham, the legendary author of The Intelligent Investor. Graham taught him the concept of intrinsic value, the idea that a stock isn't just a price tag but a piece of a real business. Warren took this lesson to heart, moved to New York, and worked for Graham. But Buffett had something Graham didn't, an almost supernatural ability to understand businesses, not just numbers. While Graham focused only on cheap stocks, Buffett started buying wonderful companies at fair prices, not just fair companies at cheap prices. In 1965, he made a deal that changed everything. He bought control of a failing textile company called Berkshire Hathaway. It wasn't the business he loved. In fact, textile were dying, but he used it as a holding company to buy other businesses he believed in. Slowly, Berkshire transformed into a powerhouse owning stakes in Coca-Cola, American Express, Apple, and dozens of other giants. And through it all, Buffett kept living like the same Omaha kid who sold Coke bottles. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He drives himself to McDonald's every morning, choosing his breakfast based on how the stock market is doing that day, spending as little as $2.61 when the market looks bad. But here's the real lesson. Warren Buffett didn't become rich by chasing what was popular. He became rich by being boring, buying great businesses, holding them forever, and letting compounding turn small gains into a fortune. Think about it. If you had invested $1,000 with Buffett in 1965, it would be worth over $27 million today. Buffett also teaches that money isn't just about getting rich. It's about staying rich and using it wisely. That's why he plans to give away most of his fortune to charity, proving that wealth is a tool, not just a scorecard. So, what can we learn from the Oracle of Omaha? That getting wealthy isn't about chasing the next big thing. It's about buying things you understand, staying patient, and letting time and discipline do the heavy lifting. Because at the end of the day, Buffett's story isn't just about stocks or billions. It's about a mindset that says you don't need to be the smartest, just consistent. You don't need to be lucky, just patient. And you don't need to change who you are, even if you become one of the richest people on earth. So the next time you're tempted to panic sell or chase a get-rich-quick scheme, remember the man eating a $3 McDonald breakfast while sitting on $100 billion. And smile. Because wealth isn't built overnight. It's built quietly over a lifetime, one decision at a time.